Under Budget 2023, several benefits have been given to MSMEs, cooperatives, and startups. Let's understand the same one by one. We all are aware that MSMEs are the backbone of industrial development in any country. These MSMEs are the main source of generation of employment and act as key supporters to various types of big industrial houses and entities. While in India, MSME's share in GDP is around 30% in many advanced economies, though it went down somewhat in the last year. Before we go further, we urge you to explore the wide range of useful videos that we have produced for you. Please also like and share this video and consider subscribing to the channel. In Asian and SMEs, contribute almost 45% of the GDP, and in certain advanced countries, up to 55% of the GDP. They are also the primary engine of employment generation. India has a long way to go to catch up with these numbers. So, what is MSME? That is micro, small, and medium enterprise. Micro enterprise is one where the investment in plant and machinery or equipment does not exceed 1 crore rupees and the turnover does not exceed 5 crore rupees. Small enterprise is one where the investment in plant and machinery or equipment does not exceed 10 crore rupees and turnover does not exceed 50 crore rupees. Medium enterprise is one where the investment in plant and machinery or equipment does not exceed 50 crore rupees and the turnover does not exceed 250 crore rupees. These numbers are revised from time to time. The Ministry of Finance today provided a major relief to micro, small, and medium enterprises for COVID-19 period. The government has implemented a number of reforms and initiated schemes aimed at boosting MSMEs' growth in India, while also improving their international competitiveness. The prominent announcements in the FM's budget speech pertaining to MSMEs are as under. In paragraph 66 of the budget speech, she announced that in cases of failure by MSMEs to execute contracts during the COVID period, 95% of the forfeited amount relating to bid or performance security will be returned to them by the government and the government undertakings. This will provide relief to MSMEs. In paragraph 72 of the budget speech, she announced that an entity DigiLocker will be set up for use by MSMEs, large businesses, and charitable trusts. This will be towards storing and sharing documents online securely whenever needed with various authorities, regulators, banks, and other business entities. Government's mega push for MSMEs announces revamped credit guarantee scheme worth rupees 9,000 crore. One of the perennial problems of the MSME has been the relatively poorer access to bank credit. To address this, the MSME credit guarantee was proposed last year. The revamped scheme will go into effect on April 1st, 2023, with a corpus infusion of 9,000 crores. This will allow an additional 2 lakh crore rupees in collateral free guaranteed credit. Furthermore, credit costs will be reduced by about 1%. In para 128 of the budget speech, she announced that to facilitate the availability of raw materials for the steel sector, exemption from basic customs duty on raw materials for manufacture of CRGO steel, ferrous scrap, and nickel cathode is being continued. In para 129 of the budget speech, she had announced that similarly, the concessional BCD of 2.5% on copper scrap is also being continued to ensure the availability of raw materials for secondary copper producers who are mainly in MSME sector. In paragraph 134 of the budget speech, she had announced that MSMEs are the growth engines of our economy. Micro enterprises with a turnover of rupees 2 crores and certain professionals with turnover of up to rupees 50 lakh can avail the benefit of presumptive taxation. The FM proposed the enhanced limits to rupees 3 crores and rupees 75 lakhs respectively. This would be applicable only to enterprises whose cash receipts are no more than 5%. The budget 2023 proposed to include payments made by MSMEs within the ambit of Section 43B of the Income Tax Act 1961 to promote timely payments to MSMEs. Thus, a deduction for such payments will only be allowed when it is actually paid. It will be also allowed on an accrual basis only when the payment is made within the time prescribed under the Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprises Development Act. This will help improve the working capital cycle of MSMEs. The above measures and benefits provided in the budget 2023 to 24 to MSMEs and startups will provide ease of compliance and business. Now let's understand the benefits given to cooperatives in this budget. It is proposed that for sugar cooperatives for years prior to assessment year 2016 to 17, if any deduction claimed for expenditure made on purchase of sugar has been disallowed on application may be made to the assessing officer, who shall recompute the income of the relevant previous year after allowing such a deduction up to the fixed price or approved by the government for such previous year. Higher limit of 2 lakh per member for cash deposit has been proposed. Increasing threshold limit for cooperatives to withdraw cash without TDS. It is proposed to enable cooperatives to withdraw cash up to Rs 3 crores in a year without being subjected to TDS on such withdrawal. Concessional tax to new manufacturing cooperative societies. The budget 2023 provides an option to pay tax at a concessional rate of 15% for a new cooperative society established on or after 1st April 2023, commencing production or manufacture by 31st March 2024. This is subject to the condition that such cooperative society does not avail any specified deduction or incentive and is subject to compliance of terms and conditions given in the rules. Penalty for cash loan transactions against primary cooperatives. The government has proposed to amend Section 269 SS of the Income Tax Act to provide that where a deposit is accepted by a primary agricultural credit society or a primary cooperative agricultural and rural development bank from its member, or a loan is taken from a primary agricultural credit society or a primary cooperative agricultural and rural development bank by its members in cash, no penal consequences will arise if the amount of such loan or deposit in cash is less than 2 lakh rupees. In addition to the above mentioned benefits, the government has also proposed some amendments for startups, which are as follows. Relief to startups in carrying forward and setting off of losses. In order to carry forward losses and set off against the income of previous year, the following conditions needs to be fulfilled. 51% of the voting power of the company is beneficially held as on the last day of the previous year in which the loss is sought to be set off by the same person who holds at least 51% of the shares on the last day of the financial year in which the loss was incurred. However, this provision is relaxed for the eligible startups where the shareholders of such company who held shares carrying voting powers on the last day of previous year or years in which the loss was incurred continue to hold those shares on the last day of such previous year in which the loss is to be set off, and such loss has been incurred during the period of 7 years, beginning from the year of incorporation of such company. Extension of date of incorporation for eligible startup for exemption. Certain startups are eligible for some tax benefit if they are incorporated before 1st April 2023. The period of incorporation of such eligible startups is proposed to be extended by 1 year to before 1st April 2024. This has been regularly extended by 1 year for the last few years. I hope you enjoyed and found this video helpful. We have an extensive coverage of the budget. Please explore all the videos of the playlist. You will also find a wide range of other videos on our channel.